Hi, everyone. My name is Jackie Murray, and I'm very excited to be having you with me for MTI 5662 on the Tech Infused Teacher. A little background on me. I have been teaching K through 18 for about 25 years, long time. I've actually taught preschool before that, so I have the gamut of education from infants, 2-year-olds to grad school classes. Very interesting journey to see how people develop in their learning. I'm the editor and author of over 100 tech ed resources, including a K through 8 technology curriculum, a K through 8 keyboard curriculum, and a K through 8 digital citizenship curriculum. I'm an adjunct professor in tech ed topics. I'm a master teacher. I'm a webmaster for 4 blogs, most of them on technology and education, but I'm also a teacher author, so I write on those in one of my blogs. And I'm a reviewer for CAPE and CSTA for their conferences. Very busy. I love technology. I love what's happening in education thanks to technology. So I'm looking forward to getting to know you better and your experiences in this. Highlights of this class. We teach on Canvas, so I'm sure you all figured that out because we're right here. If you're not familiar with Canvas, there's some very good instructional material you can find in the classroom on how to use Canvas, but mostly it's not going to be too hard. I'll take you through one lesson, 1 week of lessons in a little bit so you can see. You get all of the activities, the videos, the lesson plans, ebooks, articles, everything you need for this class is right here. You don't have to buy anything extra. You don't have to find it or curate it, nothing. It's all right there for you. What I expect from you is to read the weekly material for the class and then use it in your projects and in the virtual meetings we have with each other. So you can make evidence-based comments and contributions to the class discussion. Besides your weekly reading, you'll be required to do a quiz or project, depending upon what we do that week, and a weekly virtual meeting. I'm going to mix it up how we do them because I want to offer you enough of a variety of places to meet with your students that you find one that sounds really good to you. The first one this week, week 1, will probably start with Google Hangouts, but don't hold me to that. I might change my mind. And then after that, Canvas has their own built-in virtual meeting called Conference. Twitter chats are a great way to do it. And there's another one that we'll be using also. You're going to learn by doing. You're not going to watch. You're not going to sit back and listen. You're going to try, fail, revise, redo. You're going to learn it that way, just as we want our students to learn. They learn, you learn much more authentically if you fail and have to fix your problems. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm here. You can find me. I usually respond within a day, askatechteacher@gmail.com. And I know my email is on the syllabus and the other materials for the class, so you'll have no trouble getting a hold of me. Okay, objectives of this class. I want you to use tech collaboratively, purposefully, and as good digital citizenships. That last is as important as anything else. Because we now spend so much of our time on the internet, it's really important that students know how to do it right, and we model it correctly for them as good digital citizens. So we will make sure that's what we do. I want you to learn how to blend technology into class activities as a tool, not as a distraction, as the modification level of the SAMR model, if you're familiar with that, not as just a substitution or augmentation where, okay, you need to do a project, so we're going to do it in technology. No, I want authentically to use it as a tool to contribute to the lesson plan. We will assess technology use organically. So that goes along with what I just said. I want you to be using it and solve the problems as you go along. Not be afraid to publish things that aren't perfect, because they won't be. I want you to not be afraid to make mistakes. I'm not in front of you. I will make mistakes. I have a couple things I've even planned into this lesson. So we'll learn together, and then you'll see how it's not so bad. So you'll let your students make mistakes too. Manage class using digital tools, publish projects digitally, solve common tech problems. You'll often, if you have a problem with technology, I'll often ask you what you've tried. How have you tried to solve it? And then we'll go from there, because I want you to try to do it yourself first, and then we'll jump in and help. Okay, my objectives for this class are not to I teach while you watch. It's not passive learning. I don't want you to stay in your comfort zone. I want you getting out of it for at least these 5 weeks. I want you really stressing and straining yourself in a good way to see, I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I want you to feel like you can't. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you can't. I want you to always say, okay, that didn't work, so I'll try plan B, C, D, Z if it takes to that. Okay, overview of Canvas, just to give you a quick one. This is what our Canvas classroom looks like. Here are the different topics over here on the side. We kind of deal with just the top ones: announcements, general information that I have to tell you about. There won't be a lot, believe me. Then the syllabus will be how to address the class, your grading. But down here at the bottom of the syllabus, below the fold, so to speak, are all the assignments for the class. So really, you can get everything from this syllabus page. Week 1, each week has 3 projects, three activities you have to do. One is the classroom resource material. The second one is the virtual meeting we have. We'll set up a time for that once we get into the classroom together and discussing the questions I post for you. The third one is the quiz, which might be a project. It might be a quiz, like the last week, week 5, is a summative final exam. Now, if I go into each of these, just to give you an idea, assignments overview is just an overview, real quick, just so you have an idea of what's going on. And then I should have done it the other way. So, okay, so then let's look at week 1. This is a sample of what your class discussion will be. It'll be on one of these that we're looking at. I don't know which one. I want you to be thinking about that. You can watch the videos. You can go to YouTube and research them and find out. We'll probably start with Google Hangouts. So here's a nice little video to give you some background on that. And that's probably where we'll start. You'll get a link to almost all of these. I'm trying to think if there's any that don't. Twitter chat maybe doesn't have a link, but the other ones you'll get a link, but we'll talk about it more before you get there. And you'll come into the classroom, you'll join the class, we'll all be there, and you'll answer the questions listed at the bottom of the page. So you'll be prepared to discuss these with your classmates. They're all based on the reading material and the research you did during the week. I want you to, at the bottom of this page, I want you to share your thoughts also. Just jot them down as you're thinking of them on the weekly class materials. Not necessarily the questions, but the class materials. Put them down in the discussion underneath here. And then I'll have that available to help me with your grading. And then this meeting. So the next one is to prepare for that meeting is your reading material. Resources. So here's a video stream of all the videos you'll need for the class. They're all right here. You can see there's 28 of them. So the first one out of 28. You go through, you click play, you got it. I'll tell you which video in this stream to go to in each particular class. So no worries about that. But they're all right here. Don't forget where this is, because this is about the only place you'll find it. But it's each week. You've got it right at the top of the page. And then here are the materials you'll read. This says read 1, so you don't have to read them all. And here they are. You'll click it and it'll bring it up. Then you'll review this, then you'll watch this video, number 7 in the stream above. Watch 2 more videos of your choice, one of these 5 in the stream above. And then you'll review this material. We have 2 topics. You can see classroom management, digital portfolios, Twitter and education is the third one. It's optional. So there you go. If you want to do Twitter in education, here's your optional ones with the materials there. Then we'll go to this, lets you know, remind you of our virtual meeting that we're going to have, and then the project. You also grade yourself. So when you click this link, it's going to take you to a self-grading spreadsheet with your name on it and all the activities. All you have to do is check off and say you did them. Okay, that's week 1, and the only one we haven't, so here's an example of what a quiz or a test would be. A quiz or a project rather. So this one is, it's creating your blog. So that's all you have to do. Create the blog, tell us where it is, upload a screenshot of your blog to the discussion page, that the virtual meeting page, and you're set. That's what you have to do. Get that blog started so you can see how useful it is for you, as it will be for your students. Now, that's really the meat of it. The rest of these tabs, nah, you don't have to worry about them really. You might click through them just so you're familiar, but they're not really going to have a lot to do with you. These announcements, whatever there are, but syllabus, assignments, discussions are the important one. When we get to, let me see, I think discussions is our only if we're, yeah. So this is only if, it actually is all of our discussions. That you'll have the conference tab is only if we're doing our virtual meeting in Canvas. Otherwise, you will never have to go there. Okay, so that's how this is how Canvas works. Lots more material if you want to read. This is a summary of the virtual meetings, but one piece I didn't mention earlier, I will put out a mini poll for you because I want to see what time works best for you. So it'll show up and I'll let you know. It's probably going to be on that self-assessment spreadsheet page. And I'll just say what time over the weekend works best, morning, afternoon, time frames, which day, Saturday, Sunday, and you'll fill in all the ones that work for you, and then we'll see what works best for the majority of the people. Let's see, did I cover all of these? Evidence, ready to interact with your classmates. I expect you to engage in the conversation, not to just sit and listen. Plan to share your teaching experiences. We will all learn well from each other based on what you tell us. And I'll ask you to show up at each virtual meeting with a question based on the week's activities that you'd like answered. So be thinking about that throughout the week. And I think, let's see, time commitment. So here's a rundown. It might sound like a lot, but it really isn't. The reading materials are an hour or 2 a week. The weekly project is an hour or 2. The weekly virtual meeting is about an hour, depending on how many people are in the class. Less, it'll be shorter than an hour. I don't really want to keep you longer than an hour, so even if we have more, I might limit the questions. I'll come up with some way to try to get you out of there in an hour. The self-assessment, it really only takes a few minutes. You know what you completed, you'll go to the spreadsheet, you'll check it off and be done with it. So that's, your time commitment isn't that horrible for this. Here's an example of the spreadsheet. I'll just zip through that, but you'll have this video. You can go back and look. So any questions? If you have questions, please feel free to email me at askatechteacher@gmail.com. I'm happy to help you with anything, answer your questions. Like I said, I can usually get back to you within a day, often faster than that. All right, guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, learning from you, sharing ideas. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.